guys,
We're back.
we're back together. It's just not one of us this time.
Hard to get us both in the same place at the same time.
It is, but we're happy to be here. We are talking about leverage today, essentially what it is, and the pros and cons of it, and how it's affected by the real estate market.
And we were honestly just sitting here talking to
Each
ourselves
other.
about what the heck we should talk about, because this is like explaining what responsibility means.
It is, and Claire wanted to steer the conversation towards commercial, and I wanted to steer the conversation towards residential because, it affects both of those crowds very differently based on time frame and where you see yourself with your purchase. So why don't you start off with talking about what it is, and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, at the most basic level, because this can be super complicated, most people, when you buy a $300,000 house, you don't buy it cash. You go get a loan. And that in its essence is leverage.
Yep.
So real estate at its absolute best is I get a $300,000 asset that I bought for probably $15,000 if it's my principal residence. And normally if I invested that $15,000 in the stock market, that would be getting about 5% a year. But instead I have a $300,000 investment that on average, at least for the last 100 years, should be gaining about 5% a year.
And you could be investing at any point on a $300,000 purchase. You can be anywhere between a 5% down payment to 20% down payment. So you're somewhere in the range of $15,000 to $60,000 and leveraging yourself based on whatever you pull for the loan amount. So just keep that in mind. The great thing about it is you're essentially gaining equity on a significantly larger number than you've actually.
The asset is worth way more than what you put into it.
It is. And we are strong believers in gaining wealth through owning property. Our parents did it. It's kind of in our blood, for lack of better words.
And it makes good sense over the long term.
Yep, it does.
It doesn't in the short term.
One thing to understand is historically real estate has had gains over years. But the thing that happens over short term is you're much more at the mercy of the market and what's happening with the market. And in increasing a market, a guaranteed increasing market, even short term, is not that significant. But if you are in a neutral market or a decreasing market, when you leverage yourself, you're going to ultimately be losing more in the long run. And so I think that's just something to consider.
Not in the long run, in the short term.
And we're talking less than 5 years, really. So that's just something to be aware of, especially because I do feel like the times are changing a little bit, and something to consider if you are purchasing any commercial, residential, and you're looking at it for 3 to 5 year hold, and then you're going to be selling it. So always.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend a 3 to 5 hold on any investment right now. I would say keep it, 10
Hold
years.
on to it if you can hold on to it. And a lender also is going to be able to talk to you about this a little bit more as well. We're going to specialize in what's happening with the market, and the lender is going to specialize with what you can qualify for, what you can do for a down payment, and what makes the most sense for you.
Just the short, fast, quick things that I want you to remember is for the last 100 years, the National Association of Realtors has been keeping track of what the market's done.
Yep.
And for the last 100 years, it's increased 5% year over year.
And that's historically, that's with the Great Depression, that's with the recession, that's with tons of peaks and valleys we've seen over the last 100 years. They're still indicating a gain of around 5% on average.
But if you looked at a graph of that, it looks like this.
Very much so.
So, in the last 10 years, we've seen 40% gain in value.
Yep. I mean, we've seen single years.
It's not going to continue.
Yeah, we've seen single years with 17, 18% gains, and it's just, that's not sustainable.
But year over year, if you invest long-term in real estate, you cannot beat leveraging, and also long-term, it's a practical, real investment that lasts.
And the most paramount thing to consider is through these peaks and valleys to be able to hold still through the valleys until we see another peak, because that's what's going to benefit you the most.
We could talk about this for years.
We could. It's our passion for sure. We love it, and we'll probably be talking about it more as soon as we leave from you guys.
So we'll be talking about this all afternoon, in fact.
But we're here for you, and we're happy to discuss how best to use your leverage to your advantage, because we strongly believe in owning property and growing your wealth that way. Please contact us, Heather at Paris Group Realty, Claire at Paris Group Realty. We have a blog that coincides with this today. Please check it out, and bring us more questions. We'd love to answer them.
Hope you're well. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.